This series presents information based in part on theory and conjecture. The producer's purpose is to suggest some possible explanations, but not necessarily the only ones, to the mysteries we will examine.
2, 3.
What may appear as some bizarre medieval torture is in fact a controversial therapy for reaching the minds of brain-damaged children.
8, 9.
Good. All right, I want you to try to say a word. Can you say Robbie? Almost.
Through methods such as these, we are beginning to understand how to unlock the mysteries of the mind. Some animals have highly developed brain areas that control the sense of smell, sight, or hearing. The eagle, soaring thousands of feet above the earth, can spot small prey instantly. More sophisticated animals have keener senses. Man possesses the most complex brain of all, yet he has never finally honed his perceptions. Why? Animals provide us with a valuable opportunity to study the brain's evolution. From them, we can learn more about how the human brain functions. At the Brain Research Institute at UCLA, Dr. Michael Chase carries on one of more than 100 separate studies on the human mind. Experimenting with laboratory cats, he developed an instrument capable of isolating a single brain nerve cell. Dr. Chase is able to record the entire life of the cell.
Now, the brain, as you know, is composed of literally billions of nerve cells. And each nerve cell is more or less the same. But it's the interconnections between nerve cells and what goes on at the level of a single nerve cell that fascinates us. What we're trying to do then is to study how one nerve cell works. If we can understand how one nerve cell works, we can understand how all nerve cells work, which is really how the brain functions. We can then, in a sense, tap the secret inner life of the neuron, a single neuron, while an animal, the cat, goes through normal cycles of sleep and wakefulness.
From Dr. Chase's work, we may be able to create a refined roadmap to the brain. It has been only within the last 50 years that medical researchers have been able to chart general areas of the brain responsible for particular actions. The brain is divided into left and right hemispheres. Tests show that the left is more analytical and logical and is the primary controller of speech. The right half gathers overall patterns and concepts.
Key.
A test measuring how much of our ability to speak is controlled by each half of the brain has been devised by Dr. Aaron Zeidel of Caltech. Subjects respond to pictures or symbols which relate to sounds they hear through the headphones. His work is designed to help brain-damaged people who cannot speak.
If we know what the right hemisphere does, or what it can do, then perhaps when we have a patient who suffered damage to his language abilities because he had a stroke or trauma or gunshot wound or tumor to the left side of the brain, now we know what kind of abilities can be recovered, how the right hemisphere can be compensatory for these abilities in this person. So we can perhaps train the right hemisphere, the one that was not damaged, to take over some of these functions, and that way improve his abilities.
Science is just beginning to unravel the secrets of the mind. It is interesting and perhaps a bit ironic that much of what we learn about the brain is gained from those who suffer from its abnormalities. One such group suffering from a form of autism is called the idiot savant. They give us a tiny clue to the extremes of which the brain is capable.
At a center for children with brain dysfunctions, work is being done on the idiot savant. At one and the same time, the idiot savant exhibits evidence of mental retardation and signs of genius. For the most part, these children are unaware of the outside world. At the Morgan Center in Palo Alto, vigorous physical therapy programs are designed to help them interact with other individuals. Louise Emerson works with one of the rare idiot savants, Michael. When asked why In Search of cameras were present, he easily answered.
He's circling to film a story about the brain. Whole thing.
Much of Michael's life is spent attempting to master simple sign language, since he cannot speak. Yet, when tested by Stanford University scientists, they found that Michael understood highly sophisticated astronomy problems.
Come on, you do it. Eyes, right, both. Good work. Excellent.
Chucky, what day will Christmas be on in 1980?
Chuck cannot multiply. He cannot divide. He does not know algebra.
Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
He is right.
What day was Christmas on when you were 8 years old?
1971.
Okay, what day was Christmas then?
Probably I was on that. Saturday.
Uh-huh. Is this season tomato?
No.
Is this season tomato?
While Chuck can identify days of the year, both past and future, he encounters incredible difficulty in reading the simplest restaurant menu.
Okay, there we go. All the way down.
$2.80.
Okay, and what's the last thing you're going to get?
Coffee.
Okay, what is coffee?
It's a beverage. It's 35 cents.
Excellent.
John can draw plans of any place or of any structure that he has ever been in during his entire life. His accuracy is astounding. He can correctly reproduce flight paths into San Francisco International Airport.
John, what is that? What is this?
Everything.
Well, a child who is autistic, who has not received any remediation, demonstrates apparent inability to really see or hear much of what goes on in his environment. So these kinds of perceptual deficits continue to exist for the child even when he has been remediated. Now, remediation might cause him to be able to monitor some stimuli, to understand more of what's going on around him, and eventually to develop a splinter skill that might be much higher than his corresponding level of functioning. So that it's perfectly possible for a child to walk down the street and be totally unaware of cars, say, for example, or even unaware of other people and smash into them, and at the same time be concentrating entirely on, say, multiplying the cracks in the sidewalk by the number of times the light blinks.
John has great difficulty in remembering objects in a series, a strange twist, considering he has an outstanding memory for floor plans. With the help of highly skilled teachers who develop programs to fit each idiot savant's needs, it is hoped that the secrets of their minds may unfold.